Welcome to the executive video summary of Western University's webinar on getting started with design thinking. My name is Sidneyeve Matrix. Today we'll focus on excerpts from Module 1, which concerns inspiration. To put this in context, we know that design thinking can be applied to product, service, and business model design to help organizations and individuals arrive at inventive solutions that both improve the user experience and meet business objectives. So the method can help organizations to innovate faster, differentiate their brands, and introduce new offerings to the market quickly. As well, design thinking can provide strategic advantage in several key areas, everything from customer relations to branding and promotions. And at Stanford's design school, the design thinking schema involves 5 moments or phases. It begins with empathizing with users, then defining the problem to be solved, ideating or brainstorming solutions, and then rolling up our sleeves and getting busy prototyping and then bringing those models to stakeholders for testing. The method is a human-centric approach to innovation, and it's focused on understanding the user's needs, including, importantly, their unarticulated, unmet, and latent needs. Oftentimes, the goal of a design thinking project is to create an experience that feels effortless and frictionless, highly customized or unique for the user, a solution that matters to the target users such that they perceive that there's a true cultural and personal resonance or affinity for the offering. They may experience it as beautiful, delightful, or joyful, and deeply satisfying. All of this together drives user loyalty. The secret sauce of the design thinking method is empathy. As Sohrab Vazouchi writes in Fast Company, the companies that get innovation right again and again are the ones that feel what their customers feel. That's true user-centered innovation, and it's available to anyone who makes empathy a top priority. Thus, design thinking encourages researchers to develop empathy for users, and we can do that by carefully observing and listening to better understand the experience from their perspective. As they say at IDEO, sometimes you have to walk a mile in someone's shoes because making a personal, emotional connection with them motivates us to respond creatively. Using empathy helps designers to better understand users' behaviors, expectations, values, needs, desires, and motivations. This requires a different way of seeing, and that's why design thinking is not only a method, but also a mindset. It's about careful observation of people and places and things around us to become more attuned to others, more sensitive and observant and curious. And when a design thinker spots a problem, a complication, or a confusion, they're very likely to think about how to reframe it as an opportunity, as a creative possibility. One practical way of capturing those insights and inspirations is to create a mood board like the one that we see here from designer Brittany Ehlers. Part of getting inspired is honing our creative listening skills. Obviously, interviews are great for creative listening research, but you can do online ethnographic research as well. You may want to do some keyword searches for complementary or competing brands on social platforms to pick up on conversations that users are having with each other and with the brands directly. After collecting all of these insights from users, design thinkers often create an empathy map. What is important to users, what they say in person and online, what they do in context, the pains and obstacles that they face, and their motivations for using the products and services in the first place. We can also process our inspirational observations in the form of user personas. Essentially, personas bring users into focus. Personas are research-based yet fictitious characters. They are generalized representations of a distinct cluster of users. Those clusters are formed because, through observations, it becomes clear that they exhibit similar behavioral patterns, and they make similar purchase decisions based on their demographic and psychographic similarities. This helps designers to personalize or target their marketing and communications and product design process to different segments of the audience, which increases the relevance of the message or solution. After observing how users move through the world, design thinkers focus on what occurs in terms of the actions and emotions at each touch point. They do so in order to deeply get the user's perspective on the interaction from start to finish. So journey mapping focuses on tracing the customer's experience as they interact with the product or service, and it pays special attention to the emotional highs and lows because, of course, each pain point is a red flag. It's an opportunity for innovation and improvement. The next step in the design thinking process is really to move from these observations that we have recorded and organized to actionable insights, ideas that we brainstorm about how to solve for the problems we noticed. And then we want to design some solutions so that we can test them with users. And in the entire course at Western Continuing Studies on design thinking, we cover the whole method for driving innovation. From inspiration, where we determine the problem to be solved, how it is experienced, and who is impacted in what ways, to the ideation phase, where we brainstorm how we could possibly solve this problem, and then we pick a solution that seems most feasible. And then to implementation, prototyping the solutions and bringing them to test users to determine if they like and get the idea. So that wraps it up for me today. Thanks for listening. I hope that we'll get a chance to work together in Western's design thinking course, online or in person.